This is Reality Dispatch by Jim Mins.
Well, how the hell long have you been walking? Senior Constable Mishra was troubled by the woman in front of him. He had stopped her along the Hume. She was on foot and walked at a steady pace that was surprising given her appearance. Mishra was supposed to perform highway patrol, but was forced from his post due to the distraction she had caused. "Are you not going to answer any of my questions?" he demanded. He had exhausted the pro forma line he would sprout in such an encounter. So far, the woman had refused to show him identification nor offer any information regarding her circumstance or the reason behind the walk in an area unfamiliar with foot traffic. "Do you know where you are going?" The woman stared off over the senior constable's shoulder. "Do you need water?" "Water," she replied, her dry tongue showing at the parting of her lips. The officer walked over to his car to retrieve a bottle reserved for arrestees. It was months old, as he had not had company since he began the roadside shifts, but he doubted she would mind, given thirst was what finally spurred a reaction. As he turned to hand it over to her, he noticed she had continued her walk down the highway, so he secured the lid back on the bottle and ran to keep up. "Stop! Damn it!" he yelled. The woman would not stop for him, but she held out her hand to receive the drink as he arrived. She placed the spout to her lips, and Mishra watched as the water guzzled down her neck. Her legs kept moving as she drank. "Okay, I'm ordering you to stop right now." The woman continued to walk. "If you do not stop, I will arrest you," he threatened. The bottle was emptied down her throat, and she pulled it away from her lips with a gasp and handed it back to Mishra. "You cannot arrest me for walking," she said in an exhausted tone. "You're trespassing. You cannot walk on a highway," he explained. "This is a public road. You cannot arrest me for walking on a piece of Crown land. You will most likely face misconduct allegations for doing so," she replied. Mishra was startled. The woman was clever enough to know police protocol. She understood the standards that were expected of officers in the line of duty, and that any mishandling of a scenario could lead to such a finding. The police integrity unit was ruthless, and Mishra had no appetite to be known amongst their ranks. Yet still, he had a duty of care to the woman, and her presence along the highway, walking in the wrong direction against 16-wheel rigs, was a hazard that could have been avoided. "You're posing a risk to yourself and to the oncoming traffic." She finally stopped. "I'm heading north. This road keeps me on the right direction." "I can give you a lift." "No, I never want to set foot in a car again. My life was destroyed by cars. I lost everything. I have nothing. The only thing that takes my mind off what I lost is if I keep my legs walking." "Where have you come from?" Mishra asked. "Fitzroy," the woman replied. Mishra saw in her eyes the sadness that had eluded him the first time he had spoken to her. He realized at that moment that her actions were not a cry for help. She was not evading a dangerous situation. Her walk was one of distraction. She was removing the thoughts that took her down a dark path by the only means available. She had to keep moving, north at first and then beyond. He could see she was exhausted, but that she was also determined. He wondered what use an arrest would make on someone seeking solace, a place to meditate on grief. He stood to the side and allowed her to pass. He watched her walk along the edge of the highway and then cross into the shrubbery. When she was completely out of sight, he returned to his vehicle.
For more stories of fact-based fiction, head to jimmins.substack.com.